Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joseph. Quick and simple gospel. To be saved, we must believe that Yeshua, Jesus, came to this earth, lived a perfect life, shed his blood on the cross for our sins, was buried in a tomb for 3 days, and rose from the grave on the third day. We must repent and be born again, and we are saved by grace through faith in Christ alone, by no other name, and not of ourselves. It is the gift of God. Amen. Alright guys, well, hope you're doing well today. I didn't expect to go live today, to be honest with you, but I just found something, and it's something I've talked about in the past, but I just found a new detail, and I just had to share it with you guys. So, long story short, well, I don't know if I should get into it. I'll just get right into it. So, I've shared this clip before. I don't know if I ever talked about it on this channel, but I know on my older channels I've talked about this. When Obama was, let me just read this. During the 2015 White House Correspondents' Center, President Barack Obama joked about bringing about the biblical end of days in a sarcastic reference to a political opponent's previous remarks. Just this week, and here's the quote from Obama, just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that. So I brought that up before, but I never realized that Michelle Bachmann equals 666. So that's pretty much the new information. The other part to mention, biblical end of days equals 6662. So we're going to get into all that. I'm going to show you the clip, and I'm going to show you some other connections to Obama and the number 666. And thank you to Robert Fink on Facebook. He didn't post about Michelle Bachmann equaling 666, but he did make a post about that comment. And I was like, oh, wait, I haven't talked about that in a long time. And then I said, wait a minute, have I ever looked up what Michelle Bachmann equals? And I looked it up, and I saw that it equaled 666. I said, oh, man, I got to make a video. So here we are. So let me check in with the chat. Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Chris. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Cleveland. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Vaughn. Much love, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Do me a favor. When you come in, please hit the like button. Very much appreciated. Helps out the algorithm and helps more people find the video. And also, please hit the share button. That way we can get this out to more people. And of course, all credit to God. We wouldn't know anything if it wasn't for him. So thank you, God, and Robert for reminding me about this. But yeah, all these years, I don't know. Maybe I've mentioned this in the past and I forgot, but I don't think I have. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to cover it now, either way. So here we go, guys. Just give me a second to get all set up here, and we'll get started. Alright, so since I've already told you biblical end of days is 666, we can just go there. Okay, so here you go. Like I just said, here, let me give you my little speech. We're going to break this down all by the numbers using gematria, which is simply letters as numerals. And once you learn the simple code of coding letters into numbers, you can see right through the scripted coded news every day. And I already got people in the chat saying Obama is not the AC. That's okay. You're entitled to believe that. I know a lot of people think it's Trump. Very good option. Like I've been saying lately, if it's not Obama, then I think it's Trump. But I'm going to go through all the connections here today, and I do think Obama has a few more connections to Satan in particular, but that's okay. True believer, you can believe that if you want. It's Trump, and it's extremely obvious, so you aren't seeing the truth, still always learning but never coming to the knowledge. All right, buddy. You know what? I'm going to give you one more chance. I'm not going to block you yet. I'll give you one more chance to chill out. All right? Obviously, Trump is very antichrist. He's got the number 666 all over him, just like Obama. But I think, to be honest with you, I think it's a little arrogant for you and anybody else to be like, it's 100% not Obama, when there's like 100 things connecting Obama to being the Antichrist. So, just saying. You can't really say it's 100% not Obama. All right? And I can't 100% say it is. And I think I'm guilty of saying that in the past. It's 100% Obama. Definitely nobody else. Yeah, I've probably said that. But I've matured over the years, and at least I think I have. And nobody knows everything. All right? So, yeah, it's very possible Trump could be the Antichrist, but you can't come on here and say, you know, it's absolutely not Obama, and it's 100% Trump. Nobody knows that, all right? We're all learning here. We're all trying to figure it out, okay? Okay, you guys ready to learn something new today? Let me know. Here we go. So during the 2015 White House Correspondents' Dinner, President Barack Obama joked about bringing about the biblical end of days in a sarcastic reference to a political opponent's previous remarks. Obama's exact quote, "Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days." Now that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that. So here you go. He's joking about bringing about the biblical end of days, and he's connecting this to Michelle Bachmann. All right? Now, just by itself, him joking about bringing about the biblical end of days, like, that's pretty interesting, right? And the fact that Michelle Bachmann equals 666 and biblical end of days equals 666, I think that's pretty remarkable. And I believe this is on my old channel, but there was one day where I uploaded all these different clips, like Antichrist confirmation clips. The man who confronted Obama about being the Antichrist twice. This is the one here. Obama jokes about being the Antichrist, biblical end of days. He didn't specifically say anything about Antichrist, but yeah. I guess this title is a little misleading. Antichrist Obama jokes about being the Antichrist, biblical end of days. Anyways, I don't think I'm stretching too much there with that title. Antichrist Obama makes fun of claim he smells like sulfur. Obama, you will never see it coming. And then clip from 2012, Obama the Great Satan. So I've uploaded all those clips. I'm debating whether or not to play all those clips right now for copyright reasons, but we might just go for it. So let's start with the first one here. I'm going to try to pause it every couple seconds, all right? And so we don't get a copyright.
Meanwhile, Michelle hasn't aged a day. Invited Netanyahu to speak at my funeral. Meanwhile, Michelle hasn't aged a day. I ask her what her secret is. She just says, fresh fruits and vegetables. It's aggravating. Until a true conservative is elected president. Think about that. If Ayatollahs wrote us a letter, how our system works.
I thought I had this ready to go. Maybe it's at the very beginning.
I look so old, John Boehner's already invited Netanyahu to speak at my funeral.
Maybe it's at the end. I thought Sorry, guys.
Worse. Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually.
Here it is. This is a spot. And sorry the volume's low. I can't go any higher.
This week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the just this week, Michelle, it gets worse. Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that.
All right, so there you go. Michelle Bachmann equals 666. Biblical end of days, 666. So there's another clip. Here, Obama, the great Satan.
Know that Israel and the United States share common values, that we defend common interests, that we face common enemies. Iran's leaders know that too. You know, for them, you're the great Satan, we're the little Satan.
Now, he's supposed to be talking about the U.S., but he's saying it to Obama.
Satan, we're the little Satan. Know that too. You know, for them, you're the great Satan.
For them, you're the great Satan.
We're the little Satan.
We're the little Satan.
For them, we are you, and you are us. And you know something, Mr. President? At least on this last point, I think they're right.
All right, so there, Obama, the great Satan. Let me start getting rid of some of these. Someone said the mic looks like a Baphomet. All right, then we have the guy calling Obama Antichrist. See, he said, you're an Antichrist, and his whole face changed. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, too. All right, we got this one.
A guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently, he said, me and Hillary are demons. Said we smell like sulfur. Ain't that something?
So there he jokes about being a demon and smelling like sulfur. I've shared all this in the past, just not recently. So figured we'd do it today. All right, so we played the great Satan. How about you will never see it coming?
I have two words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
So just like many people, like our friend in the chat will say, Obama's not the Antichrist. What does Obama say? You'll never see it coming, right? Now he's supposed to be talking about predator drones, but I think I know what he's talking about. No one's ever going to see him coming back on the world stage. And again, he won't be president. I believe he's going to be world leader, likely through the UN. All right, we played The Great Satan, You'll Never See It Coming, The Sulfur, Biblical End of Days. We have The Man calling the Antichrist a second time. Heckler calls Obama Antichrist.
In the last 4 years of the Bobby Kit, we always...
And guys, please hit that like button when you come in. Very much appreciated.
I'm going to try to be fast. Thank you. Now, I have to admit that I've actually met that guy before. It's true. That's a couple of years ago, and he had the same line. He needs to update his material.
All right, and since we're here, we could look up, someone brought up where he's torn the pyramids. Look at those ears. He says the person in the pyramid looks like him. Of course, Akhenaten and Obama equals 666.
There he is going inside. By the way, when he spotted a hieroglyphic that reminded him of himself, here's his response.
It's like me. Look at those ears.
One more time.
Here's his response.
That looks like me. Look at those ears.
So guys, if Obama is not the Antichrist, they certainly want you to think he is. All right? Maybe he is the fake Antichrist, as many have said, and they want you just focusing on him, right, and not Trump or whoever you think it is. But I still think it's Obama. All right? I've had actually, Obama was in my dream last night, believe it or not. It was kind of weird. I was back at my old high school playing football. I keep having this dream. It doesn't always have Obama in it, but I'm always like back at my old high school, like, because I think it's because something to do with unfinished business. I tore my ACL in my senior year of high school, so I wasn't able to play much except like we had a preseason game and like the first regular season game I tore my knee. But anyways, I'm always like back at my high school, like after like I've graduated, and I keep trying to get on the football team and like play more, and it's always like something in the way. But it was weird. Obama was like one of the coaches, and he like gave me a high five or something. I don't know. But I've had so many dreams about Obama. That's kind of a silly one. But yeah, many, many dreams. But not everyone believes in dreams, so let's get to the numbers, right? Yeah, if you're coming in late, all right, we've talked about this in the past, but I don't think I've ever mentioned the fact that Michelle Bachmann equaled 666. So, and by the way, if anybody finds anything else on this, I only spent 5 minutes on this, or 5 to 10 minutes. I didn't put a lot of effort into this. I just want to come on and share this, but I'll probably be live for another hour. If anybody over the next hour finds anything else connected to this quote, let me know, okay? But again, he said just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that. So again, Michelle Bachmann equals 666, biblical end of days equals 666. All right, so for the new people here and for the people that have been here, you know, if I bring up Obama and the 666, I got to go through the whole list, right? So shout out to Jurassic Liars, Garo. He found this one years back. And he thinks Elvis is the Antichrist. Well, Trump and Elvis. It's a complicated thing. Go check him out. But anyways, take Barack Hussein Obama, right, in gematria. Add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama. You get 163, 64, 323, 116. If you add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama, it equals 666. The day after Obama won the election, the Pick 3 lottery in Illinois, remember he's the senator from Illinois, the Pick 3 lottery, the day after he won the election was 666. Okay, right here. For Obama's 60th birthday party on Obama.org, they asked people to chip in, get it, chip in, either $6, $60, or $600. Add those up, you get 666. We had Obama's chef ID'd as paddleboarder who drowned near former President Martha's Vineyard estate. That was in the news July 24th, 2023. If you go back 6 years, 6 months, 6 days, you land on Obama's last full day in office. And that happened at Turkeyland Cove, which is 666, like the fallen angels. When Michelle Obama's mom, her death was in the news, that was May 31st, 2024. If you go back 666 days, you land on Barack Obama's birthday. They say he's from Hawaii. Hawaii equals 666. Obama started his political career in Chicago. Chicago has the zip codes 60606 and 60666. Revelation 13:18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 603 score and 6, right? Number of a man, Barack Obama, equals 666. Obama was born on the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. And he was born on the day leaving 149 days left in the year. Antichrist is 149. So I don't know how people come on here and they're like, Obama is not the Antichrist. And I'm on like, I don't know, page 3 of like, you know, I got so much more to talk about. How can anyone say he's not the Antichrist? You could say, yeah, I think Trump's the Antichrist and he's got more, you know, more reasoning for that. But I just don't get how people are like, it cannot be Obama, 100%. It's not him. Like, where do you get that? Hello, Luke 10:18, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barack means lightning, bomb of the heights. Again, if he's not the Antichrist, it's like they want you to think he is. You know? So anyways, let's keep going. His birthday, with 149 days left in the year, Antichrist, 149. Revelation, 149. Beast System, 149. Lightning Bolt, 149. When he walked out for the portrait unveiling, it was at 149. So I think Jorge found this one. If you just do the Antichrist Obama and you put in his birthday, 8/4/1961, it equals 666. The Antichrist Obama with his birthday, that equals 666. Here's Newsweek, God of all things. So L means deity or God. his full name, Barack Hussein Obama II, right? If you just put L in front of that, L Barack Hussein Obama II, that equals 666. So you heard him in the clip we watched already. If you came in late, go back, where he was touring the pyramids, and he was joking. He saw the picture on the wall. He said, "Oh, that looks like me. Look at those ears." So he's joking about looking like the guy in the pyramid. And I think Obama's the clone of Akhenaten. Not only do they look identical, right? Look at the face. Look at the creases, right? I mean, I don't know. Anyways, you put their names together. Obama, Akhenaten. It equals 666. So when Trump announced the peace deal, the Gaza peace deal, that was on October 8th. If you go forward 666 days, you would land on Barack Obama's birthday. And that same day he announced the peace deal, October 8th. If you go back 6 years, 66 days, you would land on Barack Obama's birthday. So when Israel was allegedly attacked by Hamas, that was October 7th, right? Israel was attacked 64 days after Obama's birthday. Israel equals 64, Barack Hussein Obama 64, the Antichrist 64. And then on October 8th, Israel formally declared war 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday. And again, Israel is 64, Barack Hussein Obama 64, the Antichrist attacked 64 days from Obama's birthday. And then, not only was it 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday, when Israel equals 64, but again, if you go back 6 years and 66 days, you would land on Obama's birthday. So again, if you add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama, it equals 666. Number of a man, Barack Obama, 666. Barack Obama is the angel of light, 666. Satan as Barack, right? I beheld Satan as lightning. Barack means lightning. Satan as Barack, 666. Akhenaten Obama, 666. Barack Obama Mark, 666. Democrat Obama, 666. Obama Chip Mark, 666. Remember, Obama.org asked people to chip in either $6, $60, or $600 for his birthday, which adds up to 666. Remember, they're going to worship the image of the beast. Image made of Obama equals 666. Like the fallen angels and born on the 216th day of the year, right? Again, that's a lot to be a coincidence. So when Obama was announced as the winner for the Nobel Peace Prize, October 9th, 2009, if you go back 6 years, 66 days, you land on Obama's birthday. And of course, today is October 28th, which is the anniversary of Matthew Perry, right? Who died. He's from Friends, died right before Obama's movie with the big Friends connection. Remember the last episode of Friends that the little girl was trying to finish in the Commodus Bunker, season 10, episode 18, like Luke 10:18. And the director of the movie, his birthday and Obama's birthday separated by 10 months, 18 days. The star of the movie, Julia Roberts, JR, her birthday's today. Her initials, JR, 1018. Matthew Perry used to date Julia Roberts, died on her birthday. But anyways, in the show, Matthew Perry played Chandler Bing. Matthew Perry died 666 months after Chandler Bing's fictional birthday on Friends. And then here he is with Obama. He said he had a man crush on Obama. See how Bing is 192, Obama 192, Leave the World Behind 192, Great Tribulation 192, movie ends in the Commodus Bunker, Commodus died in the year 192. Then there were rumors that Obama was dating Jennifer Aniston from Friends. Jennifer Aniston born 192 days after Obama's birthday. Yeah, I think we can move on from there. Just made this connection with Terminator. Again, thank you to Robert Fink for giving me the heads up on this. So, you know, Terminator is all about Skynet AI. And in the movie, Skynet AI, it goes online on Obama's birthday, August 4th, 1997, on his 36th birthday. And the 36 triangular number is 666, right? Well, guess what? Look when the movie Terminator came out, October 26, 1984. That means not only does Skynet go online on Obama's 36th birthday, Skynet went online 666 weeks after the movie came out. How about that? So the movie came out in the year 84, and Skynet goes online on 8/4 on Obama's birthday, and the movie came out 84 days from Obama's birthday, and the movie came out 84 days after Obama was born, and Obama equals 84, born on 8/4. That's a lot to be a coincidence. We'll talk about the 222 in a second. So Skynet equals Barack Obama. Skynet 6832, Barack Obama 6832. Don't forget Antichrist equals 68 also. So this is the guy, the actor who plays Dr. Miles Bennett Dyson in Terminator. He's the guy who invented Cyberdyne Systems, and which is in connection to Skynet right here. Skynet was invented by Cyberdyne Systems with Dr. Miles Bennett Dyson as the lead. So the actor who plays him is Joe Morton. Joe Morton equals 44, like Obama's number 44. And look at his birthday. The guy who plays this guy, by the way, he's got an Obama shirt on under here. I could probably show you that real quick. But look at his birthday. The guy who invented Skynet, the actor who plays him, was born on 10/18, like Luke 10/18. Joe Morton with Obama. So there you go. You can see he's got an Obama shirt on underneath there. And then also, Barack Obama jokes about Terminator-style war with robots. Does the U.S. President Barack Obama fear a Terminator-like scenario in which robots take over the world? And then down here, another quote from Obama. I'll be back. The next time I'm back, I may not be wearing a suit. What did the Terminator say? I'll be back, right? And then back to the 84s. I think someone told me Terminator Barack Obama was 84. Yeah, Apache. Obama actually did a photo with that actor. The guy with the 10/18 birthday. Terminator Barack Obama. It's got the 84 and the 201. 201, big number with Obama, too. Of course, Event 201 was on 10/18. You had Preparing for Disease X, another simulation, which was 201 days from Obama's birthday. And if you think that's a coincidence, it was exactly 201 weeks. I don't know if exactly, but it was 201 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic. Preparing for Disease X. Let me see. Let me grab my 201. Of course, you know, Squid Game had the connection to the 201 and the 222, all connected to Obama, Squid Game. I don't think I'm going to go through all that today. Yeah, we had Event 201 with William Henry Gates, 201, which was on 10/18. Preparing for Disease X was 201 weeks after COVID declared a pandemic and 201 days from Obama's birthday. The Son of Perdition, Barack Hussein Obama, 201. King of Babylon, Barack Obama, 201. That Old Serpent, 201. You had the Queen died 201 days after testing positive, and the Queen tested positive 201 days from Obama's birthday. And the Queen died 20 weeks and 1 day after her birthday. All right, but anyway, see that Terminator Barack Obama 84? Like, Skynet went live on Obama's birthday, 84, and the movie came out in 84, and it came out 84 days from Obama's birthday, and it came out 84 days after he was born, and Obama equals 84, born on 84. But yeah, Terminator Barack Obama 84. Now, before I get to that 222 connection, yeah, we can go into the 222s real quick. So, Terminator also came out 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday. The old 222. The Antichrist Barack Obama 222. And I figured we would talk about the 222s, so I have them lined up here for you. Let me take a sip of water. Give me a second. So, as some of you may know, I was seeing the number 222 everywhere back in 2019, and that's what led me to Gematria, long story short. And yeah, I believe Satan uses numbers, obviously, but I also think God can use numbers to communicate with people. And so yeah, before I started my channel and before the world changed, according to that number 222, I was seeing that number 222 everywhere, right? And Daniel 2:22 says he revealeth the deep and secret things. Then we have Acts 2:22, which is about miracles, signs, and wonders. Now, like we recently talked about, that's not the only verse. For a while, I thought that was the only verse that talked about miracles, signs, and wonders. There's also Hebrews 2:4. But anyways, you can find miracles, signs, and wonders in Acts 2:22. Ye men of Israel, hear these words, Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved by God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So you got Daniel 2:22 about the deep and secret things. You got miracles, signs, and wonders found in Acts 2:22. So wisdom, the word wisdom, is in 222 verses in the KJV. Isn't that wild? Wisdom in 222 verses in the KJV. The Book of Life, 222. Jesus is the truth, 222. You must be born again, 222. Key to the universe, 222. Key to the apocalypse, 222. Jesus, the Lion of Judah, 222. Strong's, 222. Flame of God. And the very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That equals 222. And for the record, I said key to the apocalypse and key to the universe are 222. Those words, apocalypse and universe, aren't found in the KJV, but they are biblical concepts, and I think they are worth mentioning. So, for the record. All right, so I was seeing that number 222. And for also for the record, I do believe the earth is flat. So when I say universe, I believe that's heaven and earth and everything God created. All right. I don't believe in, space travel, for the record, but and there are other versions of the Bible that do say universe, just not the KJV. So anyways, I think it's too interesting to not mention those. But anyways, I was seeing the number 222 everywhere before the world changed according to that number. And also, let me throw this out there. The full name of NASA, don't forget, National Aeronautics and Space Administration equals 666. Like the fake moon landing on the 201st day of the year, Neil Aldrin Armstrong 201, Apollo 201, and we just connected the Ace Frehley death, the spaceman, to the number 201. I won't go through it all now, but go check that out if you're interested. But back to the number 222. So, Obama was allegedly born 222 days after Christmas Day, when most of the world celebrates the birth of Jesus. And no, I don't think that's actually when Jesus was born. What is it? The Sun God? Or Gene Splice says we can add another 222. The Hurricane Melissa hits Jamaica 2 months. Was it 2 months, 22 days after its 63rd year of independence? 8/6/1962. Here, let's see. When did Jamaica get independence? Eight 6/62. Okay. So it officially made landfall today, right? I've been watching coverage pretty much all day. Okay, so we'll go from the anniversary. So there you go. Of course, order out of chaos is 222. But yep, Gene Splice is right. It makes landfall 2 months, 22 days from when the anniversary of when they got their independence. All right. Thank you, Gene Spliced. Hey, Travis, how you doing? 2% says, I don't need the false word of God. I'm out. What did I say that was false? Please correct me. I'm not above correction. Is it because I said the earth was flat? I don't know that for sure. I just don't think it's a spinning ball. What did I say that was incorrect? 2%. Sad to hear you say that. You've been here for a long time. Flat earth? Is that what it is? I don't know. Let me know, 2%. If you want to think you live on a spinning ball and believe what NASA says, that's fine. Or maybe it was something else I said to offend you. But I'll wait before we move on. Going once, going twice. Well, normally I wouldn't bother me, but I know 2% has been on here for a long time, so I don't know what I said that would have offended her besides saying the earth was flat. Or maybe it was something else I said. I don't know. See, four corners of the earth. Isaiah 11:12, Revelation 7:1. These verses describe the four corners of the earth. Pillars of the earth. 1 Samuel 2:8. Psalm 75:3. Genesis 1:6-8. The creation account mentions a firmament separating the waters above from the waters below. Yeah, it's hard for me to believe anything NASA says. I've seen many videos of them with the wires showing and them, dropping things that should float and they drop down and all kinds of stuff. and again, the full name of NASA equals 666. So you can't blame me for not believing we live on a spinning ball, But anyways, that's not the reason I went live today. We're talking about Obama. Isn't there some guy who is connected to NASA that has like a Bible verse or something on his tombstone? A key Bible verse about the firmament, Genesis 1:6-8, where God creates a firmament to separate the waters. So yeah, if there's waters above us, I don't know about that space travel thing. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the light, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. Isaiah 40:22. It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent to live in. What's the verse I'm thinking of? Yeah, Werner von Braun, rocket scientist. Werner von Braun, German-American aerospace engineer. All right, let's look at his tombstone. He's got Psalm 19:1. Is that what it is on there? Psalm 19:1. Let's look that up. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. So kind of interesting for that guy to have a Bible verse about the firmament on his tombstone, right? So yeah, if you, like I said, if you guys want to believe we live on a spinning ball hurling through an endless space, and you can have upside down skyscrapers, and people can just live upside down, you can believe that. I choose not to believe that. And no, I don't think it's a salvation issue, I think you can still obviously be saved if you, whatever shape of the earth you think it is. I don't think that's going to make or break you. Obviously, I don't want to say anything that's not true, but yeah, I don't think God is going to be like, yep, you're not coming in here because you thought the earth was flat or because you live on a spinning ball or you think that, Anyways, yeah, right, flat earth warriors, let's zoom in on some of those upside down cities. Let's see them people upside down, right? Yeah, and then how is the water sticking? Oh, it's gravity, right? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of holes. A lot of holes. Okay, let's move on from the flat earth topic. It's very controversial. Let's get back to Obama, right? Oh, and what I was going to look up. What is it? Is the sun god Sol Invictus? Sol Invictus was the unconquered sun, the official sun god of the late Roman Empire. The festival for Sol Invictus was held on December 25th, a date that later influenced the establishment of Christmas and is seen by some as a symbol of transition from Roman paganism to Christianity. Okay. So like I said, I don't think Jesus was born on December 25th. But allegedly that's when they would hold the festival for Sol Invictus, the sun god, right? And I think it's worth mentioning, if we're talking about Obama and the number 222, that he was born, right? Yeah, Akhenaten, connected to, the worship of the sun, Obama's logo, the rising sun, all that. So Obama was born 222 days after December 25th, connected to Sol Invictus, the sun god, and when most of the world celebrates the birth of Jesus. So 222 days after Christmas Day, the Antichrist, Barack Obama 222, Antichrist System 222, the word beast 222. Obama tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday in the year 2022. And Mike Matthews says Saturnalia is 1225, which is their biggest satanic day. Let's see. I can't believe we've already been on almost an hour. I don't know. It says Saturnalia from December 17th to December 23rd. So I don't know about that one. We're all learning here. Is December 25th Saturnalia? No. All right, so we don't have that one, but we are correct on the birth of the sun god. Right, it says here, however, the period was part of a series of winter celebrations that included the winter solstice and the birth of the sun god Sol Invictus on December 25th, and many traditions from Saturnalia, such as feasting and gift-giving, were absorbed into the celebration of Christmas, which is now celebrated on the 25th. Yeah, for the record, we stopped celebrating Christmas years ago. We don't do really any of it. We don't do the gifts. We don't do the Christmas tree. None of it. Same thing with Easter. We stopped doing all that, and the Easter eggs, and same thing with Halloween, obviously. So we're definitely not perfect, but yeah, we stopped celebrating those. We did celebrate our kid's birthday on the 26th, but I personally, I don't celebrate my own birthday. If someone tells me happy birthday, I'll say, like, thank you. But I don't have, like, a cake or nothing, or I don't, long story short, I don't celebrate my birthday. And remember, I'm on this thing where I'm trying to be as honest as I can lately. Always, but lately I've been, like, kind of hard on myself, as you guys know. I don't remember if any gifts were given to me, recently, but long story short, it's not a thing I like go out of my way to celebrate, but we do, celebrate our kids' birthdays, and some people would say, well, that's wrong, you shouldn't do that either. I think there's a difference, if you're celebrating yourself, like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm going out, I'm having a cake, and we're doing this. I think it's a little different if you're celebrating yourself, where, on the other hand, you're just celebrating the birth of your children, because some people have a problem with birthdays too. But yeah, everybody's always going to find fault somewhere. But yeah, for the record, we still do celebrate our children's birthdays. Anyways, let's move on. But yeah, we don't do Christmas or Easter or Halloween or Thanksgiving. We do eat a turkey around that time, sometimes on Thanksgiving Day, but we don't call it Thanksgiving. We just, they normally have some turkeys on sale around that time, and we do eat a turkey, for the record. But yeah, just trying to be as open and honest as I can. All right. Let's keep going. So, remember, Obama tested positive for COVID. Hold on. I got a lot of comments today. You guys should read the Ethiopian Bible, which is the oldest Bible. Yeah, definitely check it out. I would definitely encourage people to do that. Yeah, guys, definitely read your Bibles. That's for sure. Oh, that was pretty mean, Hector. Your wife is going to divorce you again, brother. Spend time with family. Yeah, she never divorced me. We were going through a tough time back in December of 2023, and I thought we were going to get a divorce, yeah. But no, that didn't officially happen. We made up, thank God. But don't worry about me, Hector. I'm spending plenty of time with my wife. I appreciate your concern. That was a little mean, to be honest. But it's okay. I forgive you. All right. Man, you guys are something else in the comments today, man. A lot of nice comments, a lot of kind of off-the-wall comments today, man. Now, my wife is right outside this door. She might even be watching this right now. I don't think she has a problem with me doing this live stream. Dang, Hector. That was harsh, man. All right, we'll just forget about that comment and move on. But yeah, for the record, if you're new here, me and my wife were having a tough time back in December of 2023. It's now almost 2026, for the record. So that was a long time ago, but yeah, we've moved past that, and we're not perfect, but yeah, that's in the past. Okay, you rattled me there with that one, Hector. And now you're telling me stay strong. All right, Hector. I don't know why you would bring that up, dude, to be honest with you. You know I'm kind of going through a tough time this week. And you're like, your wife is going to divorce you for, like, doing a live stream and not spending time with her? That's kind of wild stuff, man. But I'm going to let it go. All right. So again, Obama's birthday, 222 days from when the world celebrates Christmas Day. Obama tested positive for COVID in 2022, 222 days from his birthday. See right here, former President Barack Obama tests positive for COVID-19. That was March 13th, 2022. So the year 222, right? That was 222 days. That is 222 days from Obama's birthday. Yeah, I don't believe in divorce either. Yeah. So, anyways, it wasn't my idea. And yeah, we were going through a tough time like a lot of couples do. And yeah, I took some time off. I think I took like 5 weeks off back then and worked on that. And like I said, it's not perfect, but you know, it has nothing to do with me taking time to do these live streams. So, and that, again, that was back in 2023. So I don't know why Hector is bringing that up today. But yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm a little rattled. I'm a little shaken by that comment. Kind of frustrated me, to be honest with you. Yeah, Hector has the enemy speaking through him. Yeah, I believe that. I don't know why he would bring that up right now. Thank you, everyone, for the nice comments. So, yeah, guys, let me try to focus. Obama tested positive 222 days from his birthday. This is after, almost 2 years of me talking about COVID in 222 and Obama in 222. So yeah, he tested positive 222 days from his birthday. Why does that matter? Wuhan coronavirus is 222. Like Event 201, World Economic Forum, the Beast of Revelation, Antichrist System, the Antichrist, Barack Obama, Beast, they're all 222. Hey, there's my wife. Good to see you, wife. Katie, my wife, do you have any problem with me doing this live stream? Do you feel like I'm neglecting you and our family in any way by doing this? Just let me know, and I will end it right now. For the record, guys, this is also my full-time job for the time, you know. There might be a day soon where I go get a regular 9-to-5 job and stop doing these decodes, but for now, this is still my full-time job, and this helps us get by. So I don't think my wife has a problem with me, you know, I don't do this just for money, obviously. I do this because I was called to do this, to expose evil and to lead people to Jesus and help people get saved in the end times. But I don't think she has a problem with me doing a live stream that's also helping support our family. And even if I wasn't doing this for, you know, any kind of financial support, I still don't think my wife would have a problem with me doing this, obviously. So, anyways, yeah. Much love, wife. Glad you're here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get going. Sorry guys, I've kind of thrown this whole thing off course. Obama tested positive for COVID. 2022. 222 days from his birthday. All these things equal 222. Wuhan coronavirus, Beast, Event 201, World Economic Forum, the Beast of Revelation, Antichrist System, the Antichrist, Barack Obama, mandatory vaccination, COVID vaccines, vaccine cards, as above, so below, order out of chaos, they're all 222. COVID was declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. COVID was declared a pandemic 222 months after 9/11. COVID was declared a pandemic 222 months after 9/11. The first U.S. case of COVID was 222 days from Trump's birthday, the father of the vaccine, right? Trump equals 222, Trump Organization 222, Donald John Trump Sr. 222, and everything else we already talked about. Trump moves Obama portrait on day number 222 of the year. Obama's Hope portrait sold at 222 West Hubbard Street. Obama was back at the White House on the day leaving 222 days left in the year. Remember when Eli Crane criticized Obama over the Affordable Care Act? And that was in the news 222 days from the birthday of Eli Crane. It was in the news 2 years, 222 days after he assumed office. And it was in the news 222 days from the anniversary of the Affordable Care Act. That's a lot, right? In one story. And of course, Joe Biden made changes to the Affordable Care Act with Obama behind him at 2:22 p.m. That's when they signed it, 2:22. Hey, Branch, good to see you. Former Obama campaign worker and wife killed in crash. That was 2 months and 22 days before Obama's birthday. That was on Highway 76, like Barack Obama equals 76, A Promised Land 76. 76 is all over Obama's movie. I'm going to have to bring up the 128s. We just talked about the 128 in a big way with the ballroom, remember? Removal of Francis Scott Key Bridge wreckage rescheduled due to lightning. Of course, Barack means lightning. And that whole bridge collapse was connected to Obama's movie, which I'll get to. But anyways, that was in the news May 13th, 2024. That was 2 months and 22 days before Obama's birthday. The wreckage rescheduled due to lightning. So, speaking of lightning, in 222, I'm going to talk about Lil Nas X and the J. Christ video. But before we do that, let's go ahead and pull up the 128s, which are actually fitting because there's a 128 on there with the Satan shoes. So yeah, this will tie right in. Yeah, let me just open a new tab. What's Michael saying? We got a very chatty chat today. I'll have to scroll up. So, fun fact. I'm about to show you the bridge collapse with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which happened after 2022. Here I am back in 2022 talking about bridge collapse in 128. That was the Fern Hollow Bridge on 128. Dang, we're going to be live probably over 2 hours today. Didn't expect it, but here we are. It's all good. Yeah, that was the Fern Hollow Bridge over Fern Hollow Creek. Fern Hollow 128, like bridge collapse happened on January 28th. Anyways, just want to show you, we've been talking about the number 128 in bridges for a while. I was hoping it would just come up. Let me see if it's in here. Nope, that doesn't have everything I need on it. This does. All right, here's what I need. Trust me, after doing this for almost 6 years, it's very hard to keep track of everything. Okay, let me check in with the chat, see what's going on here. What does Barack Obama have to do with the end of days? I think he's the Antichrist. So that's why. Much love, Apache Ghost. Smack Dab. Sandy. So what was Michael saying? Something about the Son of Mary. You never use gematria to look up the Son of Mary. I wonder why. Are you afraid the Son of Mary idol will be exposed to the people? No clue what you mean by that. But I have seen you before being trolly. Not everyone knows Trump is the Antichrist. Yeah. Again, I don't blame you. Maybe I'll even go through a few connections to Trump in 666. Just to, show you both sides. But anyways, let's continue on here. I brought up the, why am I bringing this up? Because we just talked about the removal of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. It was rescheduled due to lightning. Barak means lightning, like Luke 10:18, and that was in the news 2 months and 22 days before Obama's birthday. So that Francis Scott Key Bridge, it collapsed at 128. It collapsed at 128. 128 days before Francis Scott Key's birthday. Bridge collapse equals 128. It happened in Maryland, which equals 128. Obama's movie had the cargo ship White Lion that lost power, like the ship Dolly lost power and hit the bridge. And remember, Dolly had a famous painting called The Broken Bridge in the Dream, which is 128. But the name of the ship in Obama's movie is White Lion, which equals 128. And the movie came out on Netflix on December 8th, 12/8/128. Movie about the power grid going down, Power Grid 128. And it also collapsed 128 days after Biden's birthday, who was president. And then White Lion, which equals 128, loses power and comes ashore with 128 minutes left in the movie. And then 128 minutes into the movie, you see a bridge collapse. President Barack Obama, 128. The Antichrist, Barack Hussein Obama, 128. And Barack and Michelle Obama were born 128 weeks apart. And the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes, they came out 128 days from Obama's birthday. All right? So that's a lot. Now, back to where we were. So speaking of Little Nas X and the Satan shoes, right? This is the guy with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes. Remember, Barak means lightning, bomb of the heights. 666 pairs sold for $1,018 a pair, right? And by itself, that's still a pretty big deal. But when you factor in that those Luke 10:18 Satan shoes were in the J. Christ video, this video here, where a guy looking just like Barack Obama is in the video, what are the odds of that? And the guy who looks like Obama in the video is Reggie Brown, who was born 222 months before Little Nas X, 222. The Antichrist, Barack Obama, 222. Satan shoes equals Antichrist, including the 149. Obama born on the day, leaving 149 days left in the year. Lightning Bolt 149, Revelation 149, Beast System 149. This guy was born 999 weeks after Obama was born, 999, like Trump's ballroom. Remember, he said the ballroom used to hold 88. Now it holds 999. What a difference, which is a difference of 9/11, like Revelation 9/11. About Abaddon. That whole verse equals 614, by the way. Trump's birthday, 614. He was number 45 and number 47. 4 plus 5, 9. 4 plus 7, 11. And, yeah. But yeah, he talked about the ballroom going from 88 to 999. That's a difference of 9/11. Ballroom equals 88. Trump equals 88. The whole list of 88s. I don't really want to go through the whole ballroom thing. I did like 4 videos on it. Go check out the ballroom videos, especially the one. It's a regular video with a blue background of him on the wrecking ball looking like Miley Cyrus. Go watch that video for the ballroom decode. But we covered all that extensively. I'm tired of talking about that ballroom. But anyways, ball, like ball, right? Get it? B-A-A-L, like wrecking ball, ballroom. The guy who plays Obama, born 44 weeks from Obama's birthday. Little Nas X, 44. Lightning, 44. Fallen Angel, 44. Obama, number 44. That video released with 19.2 million subs, 192, like Obama, like Great Tribulation, like Leave the World Behind. They're all 192. That movie ends in the Commodus bunker, who died in the year 192. His full name is the 201, like Event 201 on 10/18. Like That Old Serpent, like The Son of Perdition, Barack Hussein Obama 201. Like Preparing for Disease X, 201 weeks after COVID declared a pandemic and 201 days from Obama's birthday. And then he was also born 55 days from Obama's birthday, which is very fitting because Satan 55, Lightning 55, Fallen Angel 55. And here's Little Nas X wearing the number 55 jersey in that video. All right, we've already covered the Terminator stuff. I feel like we should go right into the other Little Nas X connection, and then we'll get back to this list. Hold on. Since we're still talking about Little Nas X, let's just go back. Because remember, this is the guy with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes, right? Hold on. Okay, so not only does he have a guy that looks like Obama represented in the J. Christ video, which has the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes, but look at this connection. Surprise, I can't believe I'm finally announcing this. My Little Bundle of Joy Montero is due September 17th, 2021. And remember, Montero is the music video where he's dancing on Satan, right? Then he said, OMG, I'm trying not to cry. Thank you for the early baby shower gift at Barack Obama. Okay? So he's thanking Barack Obama, of all people. This is the guy who's got Obama represented in the video with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes in the video where he's dancing on Satan. And don't forget, Obama's slogan, yes we can. Listen to it backwards. You'll hear thank you, Satan. We should play that clip. I should, honestly. And then we have, when Obama announced he was running for president, he was 45 years, 6 months, 6 days old. Strong's 4566 is Satan. Obama equals dragon. Dragon, Satan. Right here, before I forget, let's try to find that clip. Since we've already played so many clips today. And guys, when you come in, please hit that like button. Very much appreciated. Yes, we can. Thank you, Satan. This is when you play it backwards. Someone's saying, Israel will never accept Barry Soetoro. Like I've told Jurassic Liars and other people, you don't have to love the guy or any of that to take the mark of the beast. You just have to be willing to bend the knee. All right? If it's not about you got to love and worship the guy, okay? You have to be willing to bend the knee to not die. Right? You're going to you're going to sell out, basically. So they don't have to love Obama. They just have to love their life more than dying. If you get what I'm saying. Hopefully that makes sense. In order to, accept the Antichrist and take his mark, you don't have to love him. You just have to be in love with this world, and you don't want to die for Christ. It's not about loving Obama. You're just not willing to die for Christ. That's all it is. And by the way, there's a lot of people that aren't going to like Donald Trump as world leader either. You think the Muslims, everyone's like, oh, Israel will never accept Obama. You think the Muslims are going to accept Donald Trump? I could say the same thing. You know, if you ask me, I think Obama, right? Who's a better choice for a world leader under Chrislam? Mr. Fake Christian Obama that wants to unite all the religions under Chrislam? Remember, Akhenaten consolidated like all the religions into like a single. Here, let me pull it up. Or you think the world's going to accept the guy pushing, you know, which not real Christianity, but I don't know. You can have your own opinion. I just think Obama makes a better choice as a world leader. But yeah, as far as deceiving Christians, yeah, I think Trump is obviously deceiving more Christians. And before I forget, we're going to get to this later. Shout out to Franchot Pearson who found this. Akhenaten was the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty. 1018, hello. That's why Brittany Griner with the 1018 birthday missed 474 games because Akhenaten is 474. I'll get to all that later. How can I ask this quickly? Did Akhenaten consolidate the worship of many gods into one god, the Aten, or sun god? I don't know if I'm asking that right. Yes, Pharaoh Akhenaten consolidated the worship of many gods into one god, the Aten, the sun disk. Remember Obama's logo? The sun disk, the rising sun? During his reign, he moved away from traditional polytheism, closed temples to other deities, and built a new capital city dedicated to the Aten. And remember, not only do they look very similar, but Akhenaten Obama equals 666. Remember, he was touring the pyramid and saw the picture. He said, that looks like me, you know?
Yes, we can. 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 Thank you, say. Thank you, say.
You hear that? What you are listening to now is the audio from these 7 clips you just watched playing backwards. Yes, we can is thank you, Satan, backwards.
Thank you, say. Thank you, say.
There you go. Okay. And for the record, when I always say this, like in the future, if I find like a new Antichrist confirmation, instead of going through all this, I'm just going to refer people to this video. I always say stuff like that, and then I never do. I wind up coming on here and giving you all the examples, but it takes so much time to go through all this that, and by the way, 726, big number with Obama and the Rapture Harpazo, 726, but we're going to talk about 726 here in a minute in connection to Obama. But anyways, okay, back to this. So this is the guy with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barak means lightning, bomb of the heights. Okay, we just saw that Akhenaten was the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty. Well, and then remember the last episode of Friends, season 10, episode 18. That's what the little girl is trying to finish in Obama's movie. Season 10, episode 18. So the same guy with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes, he thanks Obama for the baby shower gift for the Montero album, which is the song where he's dancing on Satan. And he said it was due September 17th, 2021. The Montero album that he thanked Obama for the gift came out 10 months and 18 days from Obama's birthday. This is the guy with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes, with Obama represented in the video. How crazy is that? And yeah, it was also 44 days from Obama's birthday, or 322 days going the other way. We already covered all that stuff. I don't need to repeat it. We covered that. Montero equals lightning. Montero 35, Satan 35, Baphomet 35. Right? His real name is Montero, by the way. Montero Lamar Hill. Born in 1999, just like that 999, 666 upside down. Montero Hill 156 like tribulation, like 666 like the Antichrist Barack Obama. They're all 156. Montero Hill 846, tribulation 846, the days of Noah 846, the fallen angels 846. First tower hit at 8:46 a.m. Hello. The knee on the neck for 8 minutes 46 seconds before they changed it. He was born on 4/9, Antichrist in Revelation 49. J. Christ came out 6 months and 23 days from Obama's birthday. Barack Hussein Obama 623. Strong 623. Apollyon, Destroyer, Satan. So the Satan shoes also came out 7 months. Remember I told you we were going to talk about 726? The Satan shoes came out 7 months and 26 days from Obama's birthday. Well, that's perfect because Satan shoes equals 726. And you see how he's pregnant? Pregnant, Antichrist, fallen angel Obama, the king of Babylon, President Obama, Yes We Can, Affordable Care Act, Birtherism, and Revelation. They're all 726, like Antichrist. So not only is Yes We Can backwards, thank you Satan, but Yes We Can has a 726, like Antichrist. We also had the show Revolution about a power outage, like Leave the World Behind. And Revolution came out 10 months, 18 days from Obama's birthday. You had, it was also 44 days from Obama's birthday. Just like the last episode of Friends that they're finishing and Leave the World Behind, which is about a power outage. Season 10, episode 18, called The Last One, which equals power outage. The director of Leave the World Behind, his birthday and Obama's birthday separated by 10 months, 18 days. His production company, Esmail Corps, equals 666. Barack Obama was the president of the United States at the time of the blackout. During the blackout, he was killed when Air Force One crash landed. I got a lot of decodes about plane crashes and Obama and the 222. In Children of Men episode, Obama's picture was seen in the office of the tower. The show ended. When did it end? Right here, May 21st, 2014, 76 days from Obama's birthday. Barack Obama, 76. The last episode of Revolution is Season 2, Episode 22, for your 222. The series begins with the surviving Matheson family, Ben and his 2 young adult children, daughter Charlie and son Danny, who now live in a village near Chicago. Obama started his political career in Chicago, where they have the 60606 and the 60666 zip codes. And then look at this, Revolution equals power outage. Revolution 151, power outage 151, Revolution 52, power outage 52, Revolution 56, power outage 56. And then look at this. This is the name of the ship in Obama's movie about the power grid going out, White Lion. Look at that. White Lion equals power grid in 3 ciphers, including that 128 that we talked about with the bridge collapse. And the movie came out on Netflix on 12/8. Okay, we talked about all that. Which direction do I want to go? Actually, before I forget, I said I wasn't going to do it. But since we've been here so long, y'all need to read the Bible again. Which part in particular? By the way, I think lightning, what was it, Branch? Lightning from a high place was 222. Lightning from a high place, 222. Yep. Oh, not me specifically. We're having arguments in the chat. All right. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not looking too much at the chat right now. But hopefully they're healthy biblical discussions. All right. I've talked about most of this already. Actually, you know what? I was talking about the 222s. I should have kept on with the Trump connections. Now I'm kind of all over the place. Well, and then we get back to... See, it's so hard to even know what order to do this in. Here, let me finish up. Man. Okay, let me just go for it. So we got Brittany Griner, right? Why does Brittany Griner matter? Well, Brittany Griner has the 10/18 birthday, found guilty and sentenced on Obama's birthday. They had the big Brittany Griner interview May 1st, which equals 666. The Brittany Griner interview was 2 years, 2 months, and 2 weeks after being arrested. And Brittany Griner returned to basketball 2 months, 2 weeks, and 2 days before Obama's birthday. And Brittany Griner was found guilty and sentenced on August 4th on Obama's birthday. There's Brittany Griner with Obama. And look at Brittany Griner's birthday, 10/18. 10/18. And that's why Biden praised Brittany Griner at the White House Correspondents' Dinner at 10:18 p.m. And that's why Brittany Griner missed 474 days of basketball. No, it's a little fuzzy, but it has been 474 days since Griner last competitive game. Okay. So the person with the 10/18 birthday, remember Akhenaten, the 10th ruler of the 18th dynasty, that's why Griner missed 474 days. Look. Akhenaten, 474, Beast Obama, 474, Barack Obama, 474 with the Strong's connection, Ukraine, 474, the Phoenix, 474, Fallen Angel, 474, Griner plays for the Phoenix Mercury, for the record. Okay, now, since we're still talking about the 222, let's do this. Let's do Trump 222. Yeah, I'm telling you, the next time I find something, I just got to say, hey, go watch this video, because I can't keep going through the 3 hours of stuff every time. It's just too much, man.
Have been shot. 200 in Chicago have been shot. 222 people over a short period of time have been hit, have been wounded, not died, but 55 people died.
So he's talking about 222 people in Chicago have been shot, and then 55 have died.
Over a short period of time, but 55 people died over a short period of time.
So he's talking about Chicago, which is connected to Obama. He's talking about 222, and he's talking about 55. Of course, Satan is 55. And we just went over the 222, and Obama's connected to Chicago, right? So on that same day, he brought up the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois, which is J. Robert Pritzker, 222. Brought up the mayor 222 days from the anniversary of when the mayor assumed office. Trump just won the election 222 days from his birthday. Trump's sister died 222 days from her birthday. Ivana Trump, Ivana equals 222 like Trump, she died 222 days from her birthday. There was a 222-page lawsuit against the Trump organization where he took the stand 222 days from his birthday. Trump went back to Butler 2 months and 22 days later. Like I mentioned earlier, the first U.S. case of COVID 222 days from his birthday, like Wuhan coronavirus. Declared a pandemic 222 months after 9/11. Declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. Then Obama tested positive 222 days from his birthday. I talked about all this already. So Squid Game. Let's see, do I have the Squid Game stuff here? No, I'm going to talk about Squid Game in a minute. I wasn't going to, but I guess I will. Squid Game, I connected that to Obama from the jump, right? The person who wins the final season of Squid Game is player number 222. And then I talked about this stuff already. I think I've already covered all this. Okay, so we can close that. Let's go talk about Squid Game real quick. Let me just close that tab. Yeah, oh, by the way, don't ever forget, COVID was declared a pandemic. March 11th, 2020, 666 days after the Cladex pandemic simulation, May 15th, 2018. But next time I get an Antichrist confirmation, man, I just got to be like, hey, go watch this stream right here. This will be the go-to stream from now on, as long as it stays up. Because it just takes too long to go through all this every time. That's one of the things I need to get better with, man. Totally unexpected. Diamond of MAGA duo Diamond and Silk dies. That was announced by Trump 22 weeks and 2 days before Trump's birthday. Totally unexpected 222. By the way, one of the things we're looking for in the future, the soon removal of Trump. What is it? Donald John Trump DIES 222. Remember, we had Vance Balter on Trump's birthday shoot the politicians allegedly. V is 22, B is 2. I think the number, like the call-in number for tips sent in 222. We had Donald John Trump DIES 222. Where were we? But yeah, totally unexpected 222. That was announced by Trump 22 weeks and 2 days before Trump's birthday. And remember, Diamond and Silk equals 666. And the death of Diamond was announced by Trump 666 days before the election. So there's a 666 with Trump right there. All right, let me get to the Squid Game stuff. What is this one? Oh, this is one of the Hope portraits that sold May 14th, 2024 at 222 West Hubbard Street, which was the same day as King Charles' portrait unveiling, which was 2 months and 22 days from Obama's birthday. There's more I could say with that, but yeah. Okay, here we go. Squid Game. So Squid Game final season. Let me take a sip of water. Which I might need a refill pretty soon. Squid Game Season 3, the final season. Junhee's baby, also known as player 222, wins the game. Okay? And this is player 222 right there, Kim Junhee. Notice her name is a perfect match to Squid Game and Freemason in every cipher. And we're introduced to player number 222 in Season 2, because remember, Season 3 is a continuation of Season 2. But we're introduced to player number 222 222 days before Obama's birthday. And Squid Game is about 456 players competing for 45.6 billion Korean won. And here's player number 456. His name is Seung Gi-hun, which equals 456. Can you believe it? Player 456. His name is Seung Gi-hun, which equals 456. So in the show, Seung Gi-hun has a fictional birthday, October 31st. And that means Squid Game came out, which was September 17th, 2021. Squid Game came out 45 weeks and 6 days after his birthday in the show. Well, guess what? It also came out 45 weeks and 6 days before Obama's birthday. And this is the show all about 456 and 222, right? Well, guess what? President Barack Hussein Obama equals 456. And when Obama announced he was running for president, he was 45 years, 6 months, 456. But more specifically, he was 45 years, 6 months, 6 days old. Strong's 4566 is Satan. Barack H. Obama equals 456. And the actor who plays player 456 is Lee Jung-jae with the December 15th birthday. So the fictional birthday of player 456 is 45 weeks and 6 days after the actor's birthday who plays him. That should blow your mind. And also, we have the 1018 connection. So Squid Game came out 10 months and 18 days after the birthday of player 456. 10 months, 18 days. And for the record, here, let me just pull this up for you. This is what, October 31st, 2020? I want to show you that there's a connection between 456 and 1018. So October 31st, 2020, and Squid Game came out 9/17/2021, right? So, see how you could say 10 months, 18 days? Including, not including, you would get the 45 weeks, 6 days. The 456. Here, let's try a different year. That's not a leap year. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, 10 months, 18 days is 45 weeks, 6 days. Is 10, I don't know if it'll give me the answer I want. Is 10 months, 18 days, 45 weeks, 6 days. No. All right, well, like I said, it probably wasn't going to give me the answer I wanted, but how do I get back? I don't know how to explain it without sounding ridiculous, but 10 months and 18 days is usually about the same as 45 weeks, 6 days. I guess it depends on the year, leap year, non-leap year. 9/17, 10/31. Because 2024 was a leap year. Right? So like here, 45, see, it says it here, 45 weeks and 6 days, or, well, yeah, you'd have to include the end date, because that was a leap year. But let's do a non-leap year, like 2025 and 2026. Or, here. We'll do 2026 and 2027. All right, well, if you include the end date, they're very similar. All right, and this shouldn't make or break anything. I'm just trying to point out that they're 10 months and 18 days is very close to 45 weeks and 6 days. Hopefully that doesn't throw anyone off. All right. But yeah, for the record, it was Squid Game came out in 2021. And his fictional birthday is 10/31. Okay? So like I pointed out back here, Squid Game Season 1 came out 45 weeks and 6 days after his birthday, which is also you can say 10 months and 18 days after his birthday. But yeah, a lot of times when doing the date durations, you can get the same, is what I'm trying to say. 45 weeks, 6 days for your 456 is like 10 months, 18 days. All right. All right, I've spent way too much time trying to explain that. Sorry if anyone's confused by what I'm saying. But yeah, Squid Game came out 10 months, 18 days after the birthday of player 456. And that's what? I guess including the end date? It's weird because over here it says 10 months, 18 days, 45 weeks, 6 days. But then when I pull it up, it says 17. And then you include the end date. That's weird why it's doing that. You notice that? Huh. When I just do the weeks, look over here, it says 10 months, 18 days, 45 weeks, 6 days. And then when I change it, it's whatever. It's correct either way. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. It's 10 months, 18 days. There you go. Yikes. Season 1 came out 10 months, 18 days after his birthday. The old 10/18, right? And Squid Game came out 10 months and 18 days before Obama's birthday. And I guess we should bring that up then. Let's type in 8/4/2022 over here, so I can show you. 8/4. Let's just type it in. 2022. So see? 10 months, 18 days, 45 weeks, 6 days. Let's see if it changes again. 45 weeks, 6 days. $10 months, 18 days. Okay. Just so you can see the visual. So yeah, guys, here's my whole point. Squid Game, which is connected to 456, which is connected to Obama, and the 222, which is connected to Obama. Squid Game came out 10 months and 18 days before Obama's birthday, like Luke 10:18. And Squid Game came out 44 days before the birthday of player 456. And it came out 44 days after Obama's birthday, number 44. Remember when a giant squid washed ashore in Obama, Japan, and giant squid equals Antichrist in 3 ciphers, 3 of the base ciphers. And that giant squid in Obama, Japan was 216 days after Squid Game came out. 6 times 6 times 6, 216. Obama born on the 216th day of the year. Then you have 201 players complete the first game. The host is 001, like 201. Right? Like the Son of Perdition, Barack Hussein Obama 201, Event 201 on 10/18. You had 201 players eliminated after 2 games in the second season. Preparing for Disease X. Oh, it was 0 days. I said earlier I wasn't sure if it was exactly 0 days. I guess it is. Preparing for Disease X, the simulation was 201 weeks after COVID declared a pandemic and 201 days from Obama's birthday. See that? Always an Obama connection.
Chicago.
All right. See, I might be able to move on from this. Okay. We're nearing the end here, guys. I know it's been a long one. I don't know what's taking this so long. Okay, so yeah, let's go through some of this stuff now.
We achieved more in 6 months than
So this one also has Trump connections to 666. So some of you will like this one.
It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years.
So he said we achieved more in 6 months than any administration could achieve in 8 years. Don't forget Barack Obama equals 68, because he brought up the 6 and the 8. Barack Obama 68, Antichrist 68, Donald J. Trump 68, Donald John Trump 68. I do believe. Now let's just confirm. He brought up 6 months and 8 years. So Beast System 68, Antichrist 68, Barack Obama 68, Donald John Trump 68, Donald J. Trump 68. And there's a lot more I could say about the 68, but yeah, we'll keep it as short as we can here.
And we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep going.
Who says that? We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6. I mean, come on.
We're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep.
All right, so there's a connection to 666 and Trump for you. Don't forget MAGA is the highest degree of the Church of Satan. President Biden, after budget talks, we will get it done in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. When Trump announced re-election, it was 666 days after his last full day in office. Well, how does that connect to Obama? It was 103 days after Obama's birthday and 103 weeks before the election. And Obama equals 103. Remember when Obama was with Eminem in Michigan 103 days after he released the song Antichrist? Obama 103, Eminem 103, Dragon 103. When you write out 666, it equals 103. The first part of the song, The Devil Came to Michigan, Eminem introduces Obama in Michigan. This is the song Antichrist, released July 12, 2024. So Eminem 103, Obama 103. They're together in Michigan 103 days after he released the song Antichrist. And when were Barack and Michelle Obama born? Are not born, married. On 10-3, right? 10-3, which is 103. So most of this we've talked about. I'm just going to talk about the things we haven't talked about yet. Here you go, down to the bottom. MAGA. See how Obama equals Dragon? The same three numbers. Dragon, 32, 103, 31. Obama, 32, 103, 31. History Channel's The Bible. Satan looks like President Obama. Right? Again, if he isn't the Antichrist, they sure want you to think he is. Remember the serpent in the garden? With the little extra finger there? We talked about most of this if you came in late. Earlier I was talking about Matthew Perry, whose anniversary is today. Remember, he died right before Obama's movie with the connection to Friends. had a man crush on Obama. He also died, allegedly, on the day leaving 64 days left in the year. Matthew Perry, 64. Barack Hussein Obama, 64. The Antichrist, 64. The word kill, 64. I didn't mention that earlier. We talked about Brittany Griner. Here's Obama on the cover of Newsweek. The Second Coming with Barack Obama.
I've solved 6 wars in the last 6 months, or more than 6 months now.
6 wars in 6 months, a little more than 6 months now. So there again, he says the number 6 3 times.
I've solved 6 wars in the last 6 months, or more than 6 months now.
So there you go again. When Trump met with Putin, that was 6 years, 6 weeks, and 6 days after the last time they met. So there's another 666 connected to Trump. See, at least I give you both sides over here, right? And, you know, I used to be honest with you, I used to get frustrated when people would come in here and they'd be like, Trump is the Antichrist. But, you know, this late in the game, I can't really blame people. You know, he is very Antichrist, and he does have 666 connected to him. I just personally think Obama has more connections to Satan, even with, you know, MAGA being the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And wasn't it on the Church of Satan's birthday when Obama was joking about, let's see, when did Obama joke about Trump being president at Correspondents' Dinner? I know I'm spelling that wrong. I'm just trying to go fast. I think it was April 30th. When did Obama roast Trump at a dinner? Barack Obama roasted Donald Trump at the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner on April 30th, 2011. All right? So April 30th. When is the Church of Satan's birthday? There you go. April 30th. So on the anniversary of the Church of Satan, that's when Obama was roasting Trump about being president. All right, where were we? I think we might have been here. We've talked about most of this already, so we're almost done.
I did that. I made deals with the devil in order to get that done, because we had to. I did that. I made deals with the devil in order to get that done.
So there's Trump talking about making deals with the devil. We talked about all this earlier. All right, guys. I think we might be all caught up here. Let me go to my Facebook, make sure there's nothing else we need to talk about, but that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. And if you're coming in late, here, let me do that. For the people who came in late, why am I even going live today? I played the clip earlier. I'm not going to play it again. But you can go back to the very beginning if you want to hear it. So, in 2015, And I've talked about this in the past. I don't know if I mentioned it on this channel. I kind of forgot about this, to be honest with you. But I've mentioned this in the past, how Obama had this quote. Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now, that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that. Well, and again, I might have talked about this in the past, but I forgot about it. Michelle Bachmann equals 666. How about that? And biblical end of days equals 666. Here's Obama making a joke about bringing about the biblical end of days in connection to Michelle Bachmann. And they both equal 666. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Isn't that wild? Let's go to the Facebook, make sure there's nothing else to talk about. Here, you guys want me to play the clip again? Because people are saying they missed it here. I know a lot of people came in late. Obama, biblical end of days. My video came up when I typed that in.
Elected president. Think about that. It was so outrageous. 47 Ayatollahs wrote us a letter.
And the sound is a little low on this, sorry.
Trying to explain to Huckabee how our system works.
And look at the clip, it's 149 long. Like Antichrist is 149. Obama born on the day leaving 149.
It gets worse. Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days.
All right, so Michelle Bachmann predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days.
Now that's a legacy.
Now that's a legacy.
That's big.
That's big.
I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that.
All right, so there you go. If you missed it, hopefully you could hear it. Again, sorry, the volume is low. Don't be left behind, a time of great horror, Matthew 24. I know a lot of people argue about the timing of the rapture. And again, I don't know when it is, if it's pre-tribulation, mid-tribulation, or after, but Matthew 24:40 says, "Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left." And then people always say, oh, you don't want to be taken, but then why does 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 17, we're going to be caught up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air? And here, let me just go through some rapture verses for you. I think people will debate this until the end of time. And again, I don't know if it's pre-tribulation, mid-tribulation, or after the tribulation. I think there's verses to support either option. Yeah, whatever you want to think. If you think it's mid, pre, after, I think there's arguments for all of it. And I don't know. I don't ever say for sure. Or I think I have in the past. I think in the past, I was probably leaning more pre-tribulation. Now, to be honest with you, I lean more mid-tribulation. But I don't know. All right? So it's something we can discuss. But I do believe there is a rapture one day, according to Scripture, because 1 Thessalonians 4 16 through 17 says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." So there is going to come a day where some of us are going to be alive and remain. That's in the verse, right? So some of us are going to be alive to witness this, right? We're going to be caught up together with them in the clouds. That's harpazo, caught up in the clouds. That's physical and literal, to meet the Lord in the air, right? So then I compare that, right? We want to be taken there, because people be like, "Oh, you don't want to be taken," because whenever I give them Matthew 24:40, then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left. They'd be like, "Oh, you don't want to be taken." Well, what about 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 17, when we're caught up together with them in a cloud? So I assume those are connected. But anyways, let me continue. Now remember, Matthew 24 and Mark 13 both say after the tribulation. Does that mean we have to go through some tribulation and it's mid-tribulation? Is that talking about the second coming? I don't know. Then you have Luke. Also, doesn't Matthew 24, let's bring up Matthew 24. Doesn't it also say it'll be like the days of Noah? That people be eating, drinking, giving in marriage. In other words, they're going to be caught off guard. And I don't know if anyone's going to be caught off guard after the Great Tribulation. You know what I mean? See, Matthew 24:29. "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken." Right? "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." And then down here, it says, "Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken, and the other left." And then verse 38 says, "For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." So yeah, based on, where it says after the tribulation, and then also Mark 13, let's pull that up. Mark 13 talks about after the tribulation. But it also says that we're not appointed to wrath. And there's also verses talking about, like Luke 21:36, "Pray always that ye may be, pray ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man." Then you have Revelation 3:10, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them which dwell upon the earth." Right? So again, I don't know if where it says after the tribulation, if that's talking about the second coming or the rapture, to be honest with you. And you guys are probably better Bible experts than me, but there is for the record, there is going to be a harpazo or resurrection or whatever you want to call it. And the only thing that's debated is the timing. And like I've always said, I am fine with either option, and I think we should be prepared for either option. I'm prepared to stay here all the way to the end. I'm prepared to die for Jesus, but I also live every day like the rapture could be tomorrow. That's just how I live my life. You can live how you want. I just think we should be prepared for everything. And like I said, I do lean more towards like mid-tribulation. Like we have to go through tribulation, but we escape God's wrath kind of thing. I don't know. But here's Mark 13. But in those days, after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. And then shall he send his angels, and shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven. So yeah, like those verses would point towards like, after the tribulation, But again, is there going to be more than one gathering? I don't know, guys. The Bible is, it's a complex collection of books, that's for sure. What do you guys think in the chat? Don't be afraid. I'm putting myself out there saying I don't know for sure. All I can give you is the evidence, and then people can make up, their decision. But it's crazy because you'll have some channels who are like Bible experts. Their whole channel is based on the pre-tribulation rapture. Then you'll have other channels that are like Bible experts, and their whole channel is about it being after the tribulation. Then I have people all the time tell me there is no rapture. And then I got to give them 1 Thessalonians 4:16 through 17. That says we're going to be caught up in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And we just go back and forth, But anyways, a couple other verses for you. Titus 2:13, looking for that blessed hope in the glorious appearing of the great God and our Savior, Jesus Christ. 1 Thessalonians 5:9, for God hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ. John 14:2 through 3, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. That old KJV, a lot of ye's and a lot of old words, 1 Corinthians 15:51 through 52, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. All right. Yeah, I shared this. The whole world is preparing for the great reset, but the blood-bought saints of God are preparing for our great escape. So yeah, like I said, I don't think we're appointed to God's wrath. So that's why I lean more mid-tribulation. Part of me thinks we're already in the tribulation. I know a lot of people would disagree with that. I'm tired, but Christ keeps me going. That's how I feel right now. Jesus is coming any minute now. This is not fantasy. This is reality. If you are left behind at the rapture, cry out to Jesus and surrender to him. It may cost you your life, but you will be saved for eternity. He loves you so very much. So some people would be like, oh, well, they got the Left Behind movies. That's just to brainwash people and make you think that there's a rapture and people are going to be left behind. Well, at the same time, you have like The Simpsons making fun of the rapture, right? What do they say? Left Below or something like that? Have you ever seen that? Where The Simpsons, was it Simpsons Left Below rapture episode? Where they're making fun of the rapture? Yeah, I guess that's the title. The Simpsons episode you are likely thinking of is Left Below, a fan-made concept based on the idea. Was that not a real episode? I thought it was a real episode. Simpsons Wiki, left below. Oh, okay. So it was in a episode called Thank God It's Doomsday. A woman named Helen attempts to convince her husband to go to church with her 2 sons. After the rapture, the planet floods, leaving only the ones who refuse to believe in God, including GAYS. So let's see. That was a real episode, right? And thank God it's Doomsday. Do they make fun of the rapture? Yes, the Simpsons episode Thank God It's Doomsday makes fun of the rapture by having Homer calculate the date of the event, causing chaos when it doesn't happen as predicted. Okay, so long story short, you got the Simpsons, making fun of the rapture. And then my other point, I've always said when the rapture happens, they're going to try to explain it away with an alien abduction. Right, so I think that's why you have all the rapture cover-up, or all the alien predicted programming, the UFO hearings, and all that kind of stuff going on. You guys should be able to tell all the alien, predicted programming over the years, and I think that's what's going to be used to cover up the rapture, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess there was an episode called Thank God It's Doomsday. That's the one where they're making fun of the rapture. All right. Let me see if there's anything else. Here's another 222. 2 Samuel 22:2. And he said, "The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. No matter how the world changes, our faith remains as firm as a rock. May you find true peace and strength in the Lord." Sometimes the Lord will carry us through hard times to teach us things we need to know in order for us to grow spiritually and teach us to walk in deep faith. I'm so very grateful that he does that even when it hurts. My trust is fully in the Lord Jesus Christ and always will be. He is a good and loving God. Faith over fear. The God within you is bigger than the demons facing your path. Warning, Jesus is coming soon. Amen. Happy birthday. There's Luke. He just turned 11. And there's Abriella. She just turned 8 on the same day. And yes, my first 2 kids have the same birthday, 3 years apart. Let's do this. Harpazo, we shall be caught up. Yep. Again, it's the timing that's debated, but we're going to be caught up one day soon. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16 through 17 talks about that. Hurry, seek God, time is running out. Hurry, seek God now, time is running out. The earth is groaning. The Bible is real, Jesus is real, heaven is real. All right, guys. And yeah, we found this recently. Well, I knew this years ago, but I thought it was like up in the air, which kind of is. There's different versions of the Bible, obviously. And, but yeah, long story short, we added this to the list. The word wisdom appears in 222 verses in the KJV. How about that? Wisdom. Remember, Revelation 13:18. Here is wisdom, let he that hath understanding calculate the number of the beast. For his number of man, his number 666. Just because you call it trunk or treat and hold the event at a church doesn't make it any less satanic. I agree. And unless anything changes, I still plan on putting out, I have Bible verses I'm going to put out about, here, I'll just read them again for you. I got them ready to go. Here's my piece of paper. I'm going to be taping this to a chair. And then I have some Bible tracts, or gospel tracts, anyways, I'll be putting this out there. And I don't consider this participating because all I'm doing is putting out gospel tracts. I'm not interacting with anyone. I'm not having anyone come to the door. I'm putting a bowl of gospel tracts on a chair with Bible verses that are all against Halloween, with Jesus is coming soon at the bottom. This will also be behind my car with all the warnings. So, yeah, I definitely don't consider this participating. I'm not handing out candy. I'm not handing out anything except we'll have gospel tracts in a bowl, and above it on a chair will be taped these verses. 1 Thessalonians 5:22, abstain from all appearance of evil. Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Ephesians 5:11, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. And 1 Corinthians 10:21, ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. So that's all we're doing. We're putting these Bible verses out there taped to a chair. And did I say tree earlier? I might have misspoke and said tree. I don't know. These will be taped to a chair, and we'll have the bowl with the gospel tracts on the same chair. So that's what we're doing. Anyways, I think we covered about everything. Make sure you go watch the decode on the ballroom. I'll show you which video to watch, because I did bring up the ballroom tonight, but I don't want to go through it all again. I've done so many videos on the ballroom. But if you haven't seen my videos on the ballroom, this is the one to watch right here. Donald Trump wrecking ball must-see video. He's on the wrecking ball, 10 minutes, 46 seconds. That's the one to watch, okay? If you haven't seen any of the videos, watch that one on the ballroom. All right, guys. So the White House clocks in at 55,000 square feet, and the ballroom, 88 plans have it at 88,000 square feet. What? Have what, the White House? Where's that, Gene? $88,000 square feet ballroom. Where do I find that? Oh, grapes. Am I going to have to talk about the ballroom again here? While an exact 88,000 square feet ballroom is not a widely publicized landmark, there are two newsworthy ballrooms near that size, the new White House State Ballroom and the Meeting and Event Place. Construction began October 2025 on the new ballroom. Some reports had earlier cited it around 88,000 square feet. So, is that just a couple reports, or what is that, Gene Spiced? Obviously, we connected it to the number 88 in a big way. This says 90,000 square feet. What was there? Some reports that said 88,000, Gene Spiced? White House ballroom, 88,000. Maybe there were some reports. Is that what you're saying? Report said 88 square feet. I guess we won't know until it's done. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, 90 is pretty close to 88,000. All right, well, maybe some reports were saying that. But yeah, you guys, I mean, I don't really want to go over it again. Nah, we'd be here all day, man. We'd be here all day. But yeah, I'll just give you the short version.
199 people, which is a difference. I say 999 because I don't want to crack 1,000. I think we should do it. This was the ballroom, and this room holds 88 people, and the new one will hold 999 people, which is a difference. I say 9.
So there's talking about ballroom and 88, and yeah, I've heard people say it's similar to Solomon's Temple, right? Yeah, ballroom equals 88, right? Ballroom 88, Trump 88, East Wing demolition 88, ballroom construction 88, and he was on the cover of the Economist magazine on the Wrecking Ball looking like Miley Cyrus. They've been comparing him to Cyrus the Great, and that was 88 months before demolition began, and then the music video for Wrecking Ball came out 88 days from Trump's birthday. And it was announced 8 months and 8 days from the birthday of Miley Cyrus. And Trump had the 88-foot tall flagpoles and all the... I'm not going to go through all the 88s, man. You guys know Trump and the 88. It's off the charts. All these 88s. That's why you got to go back, watch the last video. 8 wars in 8 months. Yeah, you guys know. 88 and Trump. It's... too many examples. But yeah, so if he's talking about 88,000 somewhere, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. And of course, the 999 is the 666 upside down, and the difference between 999 and 88 is 9/11, like Revelation 9/11. That verse equals 614, which is Trump's birthday. He was number 45 and number 47. 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7, 11. The ballroom demolition began 128 days from his birthday. Ballroom 128, White House State Ballroom 128, President Donald John Trump 128. And then the song Wrecking Ball came out 128 days left in the year, and it came out 12 years, 8 weeks before demolition began. But yeah, there's a lot I could say about the ballroom, but we've already covered all of it. Ball, B-A-A-L, like ballroom, wrecking ball, ball like Satan, right? But yeah, I've heard the connection to Solomon's Temple, right? Oh, the ballroom was announced 47 days from Trump's birthday. Ballroom 47, White House 47, Trump equals 47. Trump is number 47. President, Republican, government, they're all 47. And then demolition began 47 weeks from Miley's birthday. We went over all this. I don't know if I Google Solomon's Temple, White House ballroom. Is that what they're saying? They're saying the plans for the White House look like Solomon's Temple. Is that, long story short, what people are saying? I know people have done videos on that. Do I have that right? People are saying the layout or the plans for the ballroom look similar to Solomon's Temple. So yes, there's also that connection. Allegedly. The bizarre connection between Solomon's Temple and the White House ballroom. See if that'll open. Might have to log in. Hey, I'm friends with her on Facebook. I think her name's Tara.
This is a picture of the plans for the ballroom. I don't know about y'all, but they look pretty similar. The projected size of this ballroom is 90,000 square feet. With the newly...
Here, let me refresh. We missed the beginning. Whoop, missed it again.
This is a picture of Solomon's Temple. This is a picture of the plans for the ballroom. I don't know about y'all, but they look pretty similar. The projected size of this ballroom is 90,000 square feet, with the newly revised budget of $300 million. So of course, the cost per square foot is $3,333. Not only that, but they're saying it's going to accommodate 999 people. Just flip that number around. Not only that, I want y'all to look at the donors for this ballroom. Meta, Apple, Amazon, Lockheed Martin, Palantir, Ripple. There's so many, and I haven't even looked into what they're all about. I'm surprised the Gates Foundation isn't on here. But all these names do not surprise me because he has been hanging out with Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm sure this is just 5D chess. It's crazy to me at a time when the government is shut down. People aren't going to probably get their food stamps next month. Everything costs an arm and a leg, especially electricity bills, because all these data centers are going up because they have to feed their AI. But I'm sure that's part of the plan too, right? It makes no sense to me why this is such a priority right now. Because the president, really on the side of his people, would probably use those funds to help them survive. Instead of spending it on a ballroom we, the people, will never be able to go into. I don't know, just my thoughts.
I think that's it. So shout out to her. I don't see if it says her name. Let me give you her her Facebook. But yeah, that's my friend Tara. Interesting that her video popped up. But yeah, she made the connection to Solomon's Temple. So there you go. Let me go up here. Tara. So yeah, check her out on Instagram, I guess, and Facebook. Here she is, Tara Shalene. So that was her in the video. Alrighty. Let me give me a second. I need to plug in my computer real quick. All right, you might notice it's a little quieter. I could turn off the fan. All right, let me turn this around. I think I can turn, well, here, before I turn this around, if anybody wants to support the channel, here's how you can do so. Any support, very much appreciated. Got PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. You can also mail something to my home address. And thank you so much to everyone who does support. Very much appreciated. And I'll have all this info in the description and the comments when I get done. I'm just make sure I got everything up here. All right, I think I got it all. Let me turn this around. Howdy. All right, I wanted to look up something real quick before we wrap it up. Does anyone have anything to add? Let me know. Hope you guys are having a great night. Just wanted to look up one or two more things here. Much love to Free Speech Not Allowed, Pamela, Gene Spliced. Hey Todd, how you doing? Oh, wow. Seriously? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Well, for the people who tuned out early, are you serious? Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now, that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that. Guys, out of curiosity, I typed that whole phrase into the calculator. You're not going to believe what it equals. In satanic gematria, it equals 6606. Well, I'll have to tell people, make sure they watch the last 10 minutes of the video. Certainly not going to redo this whole thing. Look at this, man. Look at this, man. All I did was copy and paste the link, the whole thing. Where is it? Let me get rid of some of these tabs. Wow. Better late than never. Maybe I should make a short video and let people know to go to the end. Wow. Look at this, guys. I looked up the quote, and then I copy and pasted. Just this week, Michelle Bachmann actually predicted that I would bring about the biblical end of days. Now, that's a legacy. That's big. I mean, Lincoln, Washington, they didn't do that, right? Look at that, guys. The whole phrase is 6606. Wow. And the whole reason I did this video, because Michelle Bachmann equals 666 and biblical end of days equals 666. Man, I wish I would have looked that up earlier. Well, that's why you should always watch a video till the end, right? Man. Well, I'll have to let people know. I'll just put out a quick video. Make sure you watch the last 10 minutes of the live stream because we found something big at the end. There it is. The whole quote equals 6606. Of course, you dropped the 0. You got 666. Man, I wish I would have done that earlier. Oh, well. Oh, well. Got it in at the end. Dang. All right. I'll have to make a video and let people know to watch this. Dang. Yeah. At least we got it in there. Because, you know, if I would have found that after the fact, I would have really been kicking myself. Me and my OCD perfectionism, which I'm working on, as you know. Yeah, better late than never. All right, let me just make sure there's nothing else here. Dang. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else in that quote. All right, if I do find anything else, I'll put it in the comments or make a part 2 or whatever I need to do. But yeah, learned a couple new things today. That's for sure. But yeah, that whole the whole quote, not verse, the whole quote equals 6606. Michelle Bachmann equals 666. Biblical end of days 666. And there we have Obama joking about bringing about the biblical end of days. Wow. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't believe the whole 3-eye atlas thing. I don't believe anything from NASA. You know, remember the full name of NASA? National Aeronautics and Space Administration equals 666. I assume NASA. Are they talking about it? 3-eye atlas. Yeah, they're talking about it. Yeah, I don't believe anything from NASA. So. All right, guys. Anything else? Thank you, Guitar, Soul Winner, Mark, Todd, Ashley, Pamela, Catherine, Tiffany, Betty, Pure Growth, Christine. Sorry if I missed anyone. Thank you, guys. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to make a short video. Let people know, watch the last 10 minutes. We found another big connection. I think it's definitely worth mentioning. In satanic, don't forget, in satanic gematria equals 666. So does the fallen angels. Right, yep. Thank you, Gene Spliced, Stephen, Retro, reviews. Everybody, thank you. Yes, you're late. Yep, go back, rewatch the whole thing. All right, guys. Yeah, that's what I got. Do me a favor, guys, on the way out, please hit the like and the share. Very much appreciated. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of the channel. And we'll see what happens, all right? Love y'all. See you soon, okay? As always, keep looking up. We are living in the biblical end of days. Jesus is coming very soon. I can't wait. And I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless.